Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's another manga volume review, and this one is one that is airing right now. I will be reacting to this series, and I read the premises of it a few months ago. I bought the volume. I hadn't read it yet, and then I read it, and now I'm excited for the anime. It aired, I believe, Friday or Saturday was when it came out, and I'm excited to react to the first episode. Probably will react to the rest of the series before I continue with the manga. But the first volume was pretty good. It's a older teen shonen romance. I wouldn't say it's for a younger crowd, but because there's a few, there's a few things they mentioned that I wouldn't say it's for a younger crowd, but it is for older teen. I think older teens will enjoy this one, and adults. So anyways, before I continue though, a few things. If you have not done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel, guys. I am trying to reach 3,400 before the month is over, and I'm hoping to get there as soon as possible. Also, guys, there is going to be a giveaway that's going to be happening on July 15th. So make sure you don't miss that. We're just like 2 days away from it. So make sure you don't miss that video and you guys can get some free merch. Lastly, well, actually two more things. There's a lot of volumes reviews that I have on my channel that you guys can check out. If you don't like this genre, there's other genres that I've reviewed, so go check those out. And then lastly, there's a spoiler alert, and I want to put a big spoiler alert on this one just because the anime is airing. So if you don't want the anime to be ruined or the manga to be ruined, don't watch past this point. You guys been warned. Okay. Rent a girlfriend. It all starts with this boy who essentially is brokenhearted. He has been dumped, and the girl that's dumped him to him is the cutest girl, amazing girl, and he just was an idiot about it. I guess he wasn't good enough as a boyfriend material, and she basically just dumped him. And it's I think they did it for about 2 months, if that. For him, it was a very serious relationship. To her, kind of maybe not. He doesn't know. He assumes that maybe it wasn't too much for her. His life is pretty pathetic, and according to him, and he decides to go into the website where he can go on a date with a girl, and she would act like his girlfriend. So he tries it out, and the girl that ends up showing up is this girl. She ends up being very nice, very cute. She is interested in him. She's very kind, and at the end of their date, she almost, she touches his hand, holds his hand for a second, and it's all good and dandy. Now, when he goes to the website to kind of rate her, because I guess there's like a rating system, he reads a bunch of reviews of other people, and the date that he received is the exact date that a lot of other guys received as well. So it obviously, if you're going into that, you're probably thinking these things, right? She's probably going to do the same thing she did with other guys, with me. But then when you're on it, and it happened to him, he kind of thinks, well, maybe not. Maybe I'm the special one. Maybe she does like me, right? It happens with real things. Like, obviously, a rental girlfriend is not a real thing, but real things like strip clubs, there's stories of guys that fall in love with strippers and blah 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 blah. So same thing with this guy. He kind of was getting infatuated and then realizes it was all facade. So he goes on a second date with her, and the date is going kind of the same, and he finally speaks up and says, like, why are you like this? Why are you being so fake, blah blah blah. And she stays in character for the most part, and then she finally cracks and she lets it all go. She is a spicy one. She lets it all go and lets them know, like, hey, this is a job. I'm doing my job. You paid for me to be a girlfriend for you. You know what job I am in. You know what I do. You know that you're not the only client that I have. So just deal with it. Am I not satisfying your needs, your fantasies? And obviously, this is all at a lower scale. We're not talking about a prostitute. This is just them going on a date, holding hands, maybe watching a movie together. This is basically you're renting a friend, to be honest. They finally kind of decide they're not going to see each other again, and he still rates her at a good rate, and she obviously loves him for that. But then things happen, and they end up at a I think it was during the second date. He ended up at the hospital with her, and grandma thinks that that's his girlfriend. So grandma wants to see the girl, and essentially the rest of the volume is basically grandma wants to see you, so I'm gonna rent you for an hour or two so you can continue this facade that you are my girlfriend, because my grandma really wants me to have a girlfriend. And she at the beginning is hesitant about it. She doesn't want to do it. But then what ends up happening is that her grandma is in the same facility that the guy's grandma is in, and they're friends. And guess what? They've talked, and now both grandmas have seen them together. So now she has to keep up with the facades as well, so that her grandma doesn't find out that she is in this line of work. Um, the manga itself follows really him getting over this breakup, and the girl that he likes comes up almost every chapter. There is scenes a little bit adultish of where he is groping himself, thinking of his ex girlfriend, and then feeling like a pathetic loser. And it builds his character to be a lot more realistic. At first, I was like, why did they even put that in the freaking volume? Like that's just weird. But then I realized, a lot of us, go through this breakup that we thought she was the one, and we feel pathetic. We do stuff that's weird, and I guess, being portrayed as what we see a lot. And I think his character development, although could be a little bit over the top, was very well done, and I did appreciate it. He does have guy friends who actually end up being important towards the end of the volume, who kind of always make fun of him. That he's alone, that he lost this great girl, and etc. etc. Another thing that ends up happening is that he and the rent a girlfriend girl are neighbors. Who would have thunk? And they also go to the same university. Who'd have thunk? She just happens to dress a lot nerdier during the day, so that she is not to be recognized for her work. Right. It also comes up at one point that she does this because she really needs the money. She can't just not do it. Right. A lot of people and a lot of girls that are in this work of line in the real world, like strippers and stuff like that. Some of them are in it because the money is good, and because they are in college. They can't afford working 12 hours a day because they're 12 hours a day at college. So not trying to justify the work of line, just saying that's the mentality that a lot of these girls go into it. So she kind of has the same mentality. I'm working this job because I need to pay bills, and I also need to be in college, and I also need to do homework, and I also need to take care of my grandma, and there's not much I can do about it. So I do this job because it pays well. So that's her mentality. At the end of the volume, it goes where he's invited to a mixer, and he takes this girl, because they were in a fake date, so he takes her as his girlfriend, and his friends are there. They invited him to this mixer, and mixers usually people invite guys and girls so they can talk, right? And who happens to be there? Well, his ex, and his ex defends him. His ex really defends him for I'm sorry, not his ex. The renter girlfriend defends him from his ex. His ex is really a bad person, to be honest, and he really appreciates that. But towards the end of the volume, or really the last page of the volume, he walks her to her house, and then when he's walking back, let's put this in context. He's had some drinks. When he's walking back, his ex girlfriend shows up and says, "Why don't you come to my place to rest?" So they end up walking back together. Now they don't show them actually arriving at her place, so I guess we're gonna see the aftermath in the second volume. But the ex is one of those girls that now that he's with another girl, now she wants him back just to mess up everything. Like I don't know, like I don't know why she wants to create chaos in his life, but it looks like she does. So, anyways, overall a great series. I really do appreciate it. I think it's one of those series that I probably will finish manga wise, as well as anime. But I know the anime is probably not going to give us the entire thing, because a lot of the times that's what ends up happening. Out of 10, this volume, I'm going to put it at an 8. And the only reason I put it at an 8 is because it really surprised me to the extent of how well done the characters were made. The reason I say that is because when I read the first 2 chapters, I'm like, man, this is a cute, love, little romance story. But then as I read more, I saw the development of each character and how they react and how realistic they're reacting. You have the guy who's obsessed with his ex. There's a girl who, he's renting, but we know that they're both kind of ending up liking each other. There's a lot of side panels that we see where they're kind of thinking of each other or smiling at each other in a way that it's not fake, right? So we know that they're falling for each other, but at the same time, there's this ex that he's obsessed with, and I think everyone has been there. The one that got away, right? And when she shows up, everything is messed up because now he's thinking, man, maybe she does love me. Maybe I should go with this person, and it's just not good. Overall, I think it's great. I want you guys to read it or at least watch the anime now that it's airing. I believe it's airing in Crunchyroll. I will be reacting to it hopefully tonight or later today, or this week, sorry. And anyways, catch that video. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Comment, like, and share, and let me know what else I should be reviewing. Thank you for your love and support. And guys, like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.